What's up, everybody? Welcome to BioWatch 3 Raw TV. Today I want to talk about something that was brought to my attention by more than one person, and we're going to backtrack a little bit. So within the last, I don't know, I'd say like 5 to 10 years, so many people have become quote-unquote gluten intolerant. Now, I have a couple friends who are actually gluten intolerant, and an actual person that's gluten intolerant is not going to have the same side effects that most of these people nowadays are having. So it's a gluten intolerance. I mean, not gluten intolerance, it's a gluten sensitivity that it's been coined as, which is not gluten intolerant, which means that you don't wind up in the fucking hospital if you have something with the gluten in it. But you still have a reaction to gluten. Now, my wife Erin is one of those people that is gluten sensitive but not gluten intolerant, which I never really looked much into it. I said, okay, you know, if that's what it is, it's what doctors say that it is, okay, that's what it is, right? Because the doctors are the experts and you should believe them, right? They're the ones with the PhDs, they're the ones that went to school, they're the ones that read the studies, they're the ones that know. So now, within the last 10 years, all these gluten-sensitive people that came around, I can't have gluten, I can't have gluten, I can't have gluten. And I remember talking to more than a few people about, like, what do you think is causing this gluten sensitivity that's going around, right? And why some people get it, some people don't. Why all of a sudden? Like, it's got to be a man-made thing, because otherwise it would have been happening to people, you know, all the time since the dawn of fucking time, but that's not what's happening. And we can't be devolving as people, right? Going backwards. Like, our bodies are mutating backwards to where we can't handle fucking gluten. Like, we can't, for some reason, we can't handle oatmeal. Like, what the fuck? Like, something is not right, right? And I never really thought too much about it, right? I kind of just go, well, maybe some people are like that. They're sensitive to gluten. It's just how it is, right? Until recently, when I started finding out about this glyphosate, whatever the fuck it's called, the Roundup that's in some of these, well, not some of these, a lot of these foods that we eat. And if you look at the list of foods, like, I only put a couple of them on that video that I put about what should I eat or what can I eat, whatever it was. That's only some of the foods. We don't even know to the extent exactly what other foods it's in, but oatmeal and all these different foods and companies that we trusted, like Quaker and shit, are on there. So now these are the foods that people have been eating that are quote-unquote gluten sensitive, right? They can't have oatmeal. Oatmeal fucks them up. And these people weren't born like that because they used to be able to eat the foods. But over time, they're no longer able to eat these foods. So what I did was I looked at a chart of side effects of gluten intolerance, okay? Not gluten sensitivity, because gluten sensitivity didn't exist. Like, it's a newer thing, right? Gluten intolerance and glyphosate, however the fuck you say it, the Roundup, poisoning. And lo and behold, when you overlap them, if you look them up, you find out that both symptoms or so we'll say a symptom of gluten intolerance and the side effect of glyphosate, how the fuck you say it, poisoning, are the same exact symptoms. Now it's starting to make sense. So these doctors who basically don't know what the fuck is going on, they have patients that come in and they're showing signs of gluten intolerance, but that's not what it is. It's the glyphosate poisoning. And they don't know enough about it. They don't know about the glyphosate. They don't give a fuck. They only know things that they know about. So when you come into a doctor with symptoms, they usually have seen those symptoms before. If they don't, what they used to do is go in their office and they had a big fucking book. So they go, okay, I'll be right back. They listen to you, they talk to you, they check your cell vitals and shit. They leave the room, they come back. They say, I think what's going on here is such and such and such. If that's not, so we're going to start you on this medication. If that doesn't really clear it up in a few days, call us. We'll switch the medication. We'll try another one that it probably would be this instead. Right? So basically what they're doing is taking the symptoms and making a guess based on what the symptoms are and how they're clustered together to say this is the ailment because of these symptoms. But when symptoms overlap and they're identical and you don't even know that the other thing is there, like glyphosate, how the fuck you say it, poisoning, then that's not even an option. You're going with gluten intolerance, gluten sensitivity, because people are not gluten intolerant. They're not winding up in the hospital. I have a friend, Paragi, who's celiac. If she touches gluten, she's in the fucking hospital. Like, her throat closes up, her fucking face puffs up, she goes to the hospital. So she basically eats like berries and fucking nuts and berries. That's pretty much all she eats. She's also vegan. But those are truly people that are gluten intolerant. They're gluten intolerant. They're gonna wind up in the hospital. They actually have something genetically that causes them to not be able to handle gluten, right? But these new gluten sensitive people all over the world, gluten sensitive, it's like a new thing, right? It's a new because it's a man-made thing. The man-made thing that it is glyphosate poisoning, or glyphosate. I cannot say this fucking word. I bet you people are gonna make fun of me, whatever. The glyphosate poisoning is something that nobody even fucking looked into, nobody even fucking knew about, nobody even paid attention to, and they've been getting away with it for fucking decades, putting that shit in the fucking food, springing on it to ripen the food faster so they could, there's all kinds of bullshit that they've been using to make the foods more cost effective, more profitable. And they don't give a fuck what it does to your body. Now, lo and behold, you can eat some of this stuff, and they always say, well, oh, no, a certain amount of it's fine. Well, what happens when your body doesn't detoxify itself of the poison that it's getting? There's a buildup in poisons, and you get side effects or ailments or symptoms or whatever the fuck you want to call them. So now you have someone who has been eating oatmeal, and they think they're eating all the right things, and they are, right? They're eating the right things for their health, but they're loading up on this fucking poison that they're putting in their body, and over time they basically get poisoned. Their symptoms are identical to the fucking gluten intolerant symptoms, but they're not as extreme. So therefore, gluten sensitive was coined a term. And I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. This is what's really going on. What's really going on is people have been poisoned from the food that they're eating, don't even fucking know it, have been told that they're gluten sensitive, and they go on and eat other foods, and guess what? Those symptoms go away because they're no longer eating the foods that have the glyphosate in it, or the glyphosate, whatever the fuck it is. It's no longer in it. So the symptoms subside. And when they eat it again, that poison goes back in their body and they start to get the symptoms again. So they go, oh yeah, that's what it is. I'll just stay away from the gluten. I'm now gluten sensitive. And I'm like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. Like, how do we stop this? Where does it stop? Who's responsible for putting these poisons in your fucking food that so many people are eating that they've actually become a ailment now from eating these types of food? It's become a thing. It's been coined as gluten sensitivity, but the fact of the matter is it's fucking glyphosate poisoning. And I'm sitting there going, nobody's fucking talking about this. Just recently, the whole story broke about the Montessori's fucking, just recently this shit broke, right? So now people are starting to find out, but what do you do? I don't know, guys. I don't fucking know what to do. I do know that it is poison. I do know that you're putting it in your body. Like, let's face facts. I've used DNP. I've used heroin. At least I knew what the fuck was going in my body. The poor unknowing people don't know what the fuck is in it, and they're still eating it in high enough amounts to get side effects from it to where it makes them sick. And then you go to the doctor, they tell you to stop eating the things with the gluten in it, which just by chance, the thing's loaded with this fucking, the Roundup has gluten in it, and the side effects go away, and they go, see, that's what it is. The doctors don't even know. These companies are pulling one over on fucking everybody. They know what the symptoms are. They know what the fuck is going on. They know exactly what's causing it. But they don't talk to the doctors. The doctors don't talk to them. They have no clue what the fuck's going on. There's a big disconnect. Meanwhile, the normal public like you and I just eat these fucking foods and get sick. You're poisoning our fucking foods. You companies that are doing this shit, you're poisoning people. You're fucking harming people. I hope some motherfuckers go get blood tests and find this shit in their fucking blood and put together the biggest fucking lawsuit you've ever seen in your life and shut that fucking company down. I don't give a fuck if crops die a day after you fucking pick them. As long as you don't stop, you don't keep putting that shit on the food that keeps it fucking better longer, it keeps it from going bad, ripens it, makes it look the way you want. A fucking banana doesn't even look like a banana in other countries that we have here. Our fucking eggs, the eggs when you crack it, the yolk doesn't even look the same in other countries. You know why? Because America is full of fucking poisons, full of fucking chemicals that are illegal in other countries. You can't put the shit in food in other countries you do here. It's illegal. They won't let it happen. Here, fucking anything goes. I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. So what's the answer? I mean, one answer is to move to another fucking country and say goodbye America. Like, fuck you guys. Like, I'm sick of being, like, literally held by the hand and told what to eat and told what to do. Like, makes no fucking sense that anybody could put a poison in the fucking food and say it's okay that it's in there and allow it over decades to fucking poison people and cause them to get sick and be like, it's okay, it's okay. It's not okay. It is not okay. If you want to put that shit in the food and put a fucking disclaimer that says, look, you may have gluten intolerant type symptoms that makes you look gluten sensitive, eat at your own risk, may cause poisoning. That I would be like, well, at least now they fucking put it on there and they're admitting it to it and they're not being shady. But now, they're just shady as fuck. This company knew exactly what the fuck is going on. You're trying to tell me that this poison has never been given to fucking humans. If there was no human studies on that poison, guess what? It's so dangerous for humans you can't do a study, then you shouldn't be putting it on the fucking food so it can soak in there in the first fucking place. But that's completely besides the point. You know why? About fucking money. It's about money. It's about the almighty dollar. It's about the fucking power that comes with over having, you know, I wouldn't even, I hate to say this, but I wouldn't even put it past people to make people sick so they can go to the doctor, pay the doctor. They're buying the food, paying the companies, paying the doctor to fucking get better, and then switching them to other foods. Well, you can't eat those foods. Forcing them to switch to other foods that another company owns that's on this whole fucking thing. They're all making fucking money. Like, I wouldn't doubt that one fucking bit. And conspiracy theories, my ass. Motherfucker, you are eating poison. They knowingly put in your fucking food that is causing side effects that is masked like something else, completely innocent, and nobody's saying a fucking word. My thing is, What do we do now? Awareness. That's the only thing we can do is just be completely aware, do our best to boycott these fucking companies that are out there poisoning people. Get rid of the fucking, just, if you stop buying the fucking products, they will go belly up. That's how that works. So get the list. Get the list of stuff that have glyphosate in it, or glyphosate, how the fuck you say that. Get the list of food. Avoid those fucking foods. Avoid those companies. I don't give a fuck what you gotta do. Find something else. Because they're saying even right now, the feed and the stuff they feed the animals have this shit on it too. So when you eat fucking meat, it has that shit in it too. And I'm sitting there going, fuck, no wonder why so many people are fucked up and they're sick. Like, these man-made diseases that we have that are created by shit that we have done by fucking with food is out of control. Like, there's no doubt in my fucking mind, and people can say no all they want, there are more cases of cancer and people dying of cancer now than ever before. We've spent billions and trillions and gazillions of however the fuck high you could go counting on research for cancer, and they still can't stop that shit. Chemotherapy is fucking effective 3% of the time, 7% tops. These are the numbers that I've seen. So you're trying to tell me that out of everything that's going on, all the money, they still can't figure out shit about it. Not a fucking thing. And all these foods have fucking poison in them, which are cancer-causing chemicals that cause reactions in the body to make you ill. You know, oh, we don't know, it's fine. You know, the FDA says it's a certain amount in there. Who's fucking running the FDA? Who in the FDA is saying it's okay? Would that guy feed it to his fucking kids? Would that guy feed that oatmeal to his 3-year-old fucking son? No, they're not doing that bullshit. I'm telling you right now, guys, this is a big fucking scam. And eventually it's going to come to fucking light that there was a lot of people in on this shit. But the internet is the information highway, right? That information is key, getting it out to people. And the more information that gets out there, the people have the power. You have the power. Stop buying the products. Let those bitches go belly up and fuck them. Find another way to do it. There's going to be someone out there when there's a supply and demand. There's going to be a demand for food that's not fucked up. And there's going to be somebody who steps up out there to supply that fucking food for the people that's not going to harm them and make them ill. It's just a matter of time. So guys, be aware. The food does have shit in it that makes you fucking sick. They know about it. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't give a fuck about me. They don't give a shit except their fucking money, how much they can fucking sell, how much power they can have over the public in general, and how they can switch off from these other fucking doctors and shit, all making money together, laughing at us. That, my friends, is goddamn bullshit. BioStraining@gmail.com. Leave comments down below, but don't fight. www.biostraining.com is like it's the bullshit bicep, and we are out.